the dawn of the 20th century. The world was in the throes of change. Nations were coming into their own, industrialization was on the rise, and the winds of revolution were stirring. Amidst these winds, two nations stood at the brink of chaos: Russia and Greece. Their tales, intertwined through the threads of war, revolution, and civil strife, formed the tapestry of the First Russian and Greek Civil War. In Russia, the year was 1917. The February Revolution had just ousted Tsar Nicholas II, ending 300 years of Romanov rule. The provisional government, led by Alexander Kerensky, was in power, but it was a power resting on shaky grounds. Workers, soldiers, and peasants formed Soviets, their own councils, challenging the authority of the provisional government. Meanwhile, in Greece, the national schism had split the nation into two factions: the royalists, who supported King Constantine I, and the Venizelos, who backed Prime Minister Eleftherios Venizelos. The year was 1916, a year before the revolution in Russia. Greece was torn between entering World War I on the side of the Allies or staying neutral under the king's preference. As the months rolled on, tensions in both nations escalated. In Russia, the October Revolution sparked off, led by the Bolsheviks under Vladimir Lenin. The provisional government was overthrown, and the Soviets were in power. Civil war followed, with the Red Army of the Bolsheviks pitted against the White Army, composed of a broad coalition of anti-Bolshevik forces. In Greece, the situation was no less volatile. In 1917, King Constantine was forced to abdicate, and Greece entered World War I on the side of the Allies. The nation was divided, and civil war seemed inevitable. The conflict finally broke out in 1919, with the Royalists and the Venizelos pitted against each other. The years that followed were marked by brutal warfare, political upheaval, and immense suffering. The Russian Civil War ended in 1922, with the Red Army emerging victorious. The Greek Civil War, however, raged on until 1923, with the Venizelos finally gaining control. To recap, the First Russian and Greek Civil War was a complex and tumultuous period in the histories of both nations. It began with the February and October revolutions in Russia and the national schism in Greece. It was marked by the civil wars in both countries, with the Bolsheviks and the Venizelos emerging as the victors. It was a time of great change, great conflict, and great suffering, a period that shaped the futures of both Russia and Greece in profound ways.